Imagine a place on Earth where almost no one is allowed to set foot freely. A place where every activity is strictly controlled, where the environment is so harsh that it seems impossible for any form of life to exist. That place is Antarctica. But what makes Antarctica truly extraordinary is not just its endless ice or sub-zero temperatures. It is the strange stories, the unexplained phenomena, and the secrets that seem to lie hidden beneath kilometers of frozen layers. Among these mysteries, one of the most haunting stories is about a group of scientists who disappeared without a trace in the region known as Mary Bird Land, one of the most remote and least explored places on the planet. According to circulating accounts, this team of 15 scientists was conducting a routine research mission, with no signs of danger reported beforehand. Then suddenly, they vanished completely, leaving behind no evidence. When the rescue team arrived, what they found was not the aftermath of an accident or an attack, but a scene that felt almost frozen in time. Tents still intact, equipment still functioning, documents left untouched, but the people were gone, as if they had been erased from reality. What makes the story even more disturbing is what allegedly happened afterward. According to unofficial sources, more than a week later, the group suddenly reappeared. However, their condition had drastically changed. They were unable to communicate clearly, their eyes filled with fear, their behavior erratic, showing signs consistent with severe psychological trauma. One researcher was reportedly muttering repeatedly, "Don't open it, don't go back there," while another refused to leave the tent, as if terrified of something waiting outside. Then, before any formal investigation could take place, they disappeared again, this time permanently. No official report, no explanation, and the entire incident seemed to be swallowed by silence. From a skeptical perspective, you could argue that this is simply a fabricated story. However, if you examine the details closely, you'll notice that this pattern, disappearance without a trace followed by a return in a disturbed psychological state, is a recurring motif in many reports of unexplained phenomena around the world. It is precisely events like this that have drawn public attention towards satellite images of Antarctica, particularly those showing structures resembling pyramids. These images reveal large formations with sharp peaks and relatively symmetrical edges, immediately reminding many people of ancient pyramids. Some scientists argue that these are simply mountains shaped by wind erosion and glacial activity over long periods, a completely natural geological phenomenon. However, what raises suspicion for many is the seemingly too perfect symmetry of certain formations. If they are purely natural, why do some appear so geometrically precise, almost like man-made structures? This is where various theories begin to emerge. Some suggest they are remnants of an ancient civilization buried beneath the ice. Others believe they could be extraterrestrial bases, or even classified human-made structures that remain inaccessible to the public. To explore this perspective further, consider another story not from Antarctica, but from the Arctic. In 1930, an expedition reportedly discovered a strange structure beneath the ice, unlike anything they had seen before. One member recorded in his journal, "It does not look like a mountain, nor like rock. It looks like something deliberately constructed." However, this report was never widely published and gradually faded into obscurity. While unverified, this story reflects a familiar pattern. Unusual discoveries in polar regions are often not broadly disclosed or are quickly forgotten. This does not prove the existence of a conspiracy, but it does raise an important question. Are there pieces of information we simply have not been given access to? Another factor that adds to Antarctica's mystery is scientific evidence showing that it once had a completely different climate. Around 90 million years ago, Antarctica was a warm region with forests, rivers, and a rich ecosystem. This is no longer speculation, but has been confirmed through geological studies and fossil evidence. So if Antarctica was once habitable, the question arises, could some form of civilization have existed there in the distant past? Of course, there is no direct evidence to support this. But when we look at Earth's history, we see that many species have evolved and gone extinct, leaving behind only minimal traces. So why couldn't a civilization have done the same? Imagine this scenario. A civilization once thrived in this region, building structures and accumulating knowledge. Then a global catastrophe occurred, perhaps extreme climate change or a massive impact event. burying everything beneath layers of ice. Over millions of years, all evidence faded, leaving behind only strange structures that we are now beginning to notice. Adding to the intrigue are ancient maps such as those created by Pierre Rees and Philippe Watch. The Pierre Rees map, drawn in 1513, is believed by some to depict the coastline of Antarctica without ice, with remarkable accuracy. Meanwhile, Philippe Watch's map presents Antarctica as divided into two landmasses, something modern geology later supported through subglacial studies. This raises a compelling question. How could people living centuries ago possess such knowledge? Perhaps they relied on even older sources that have since been lost, or perhaps it is merely coincidence. However, when multiple coincidences appear together, it becomes harder to dismiss them outright. From all these stories, data, and hypotheses, the most important takeaway is not determining what is definitively true or false, but how we approach such mysteries. In a world where information can be incomplete or distorted, critical thinking becomes essential. We should not blindly believe unverified claims, but neither should we dismiss everything simply because it sounds implausible. History has shown that many things once considered impossible eventually became accepted truths as science advanced enough to explain them. Ultimately, whether the mystery of the Antarctic pyramids is ever solved or not, what it offers is a reminder. The world we live in still holds countless unknowns, and it is curiosity, the willingness to question and to seek truth, that has driven human progress for thousands of years. Perhaps one day, with more advanced technology, we will find clear answers. But until then, mysteries like these will continue to exist, challenging our understanding and pushing the boundaries of human knowledge.